Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Leading Off, brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. It's me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia, with me, as always, as Chris Welsh, the Welsh, the one, the only Welsh. And today, we've got one more week to the All-Star game, the little bit of a break in the action, but we're still going hard. We're going at it, baby. Don't worry about it. Still lots going on. We're going to talk about the rest of the All-Star rosters today, the winners and losers from this week's stats. We've had injuries, as always, and some fun facts, all kinds of fun things. It's a fun Monday. So fun. Everyone says Friday's fun, but no, Welsh, we're making Monday fun.
Oh, yeah, we're going to make a new trend. It's like, yes, you totally didn't have a massive anxiety on Sunday night because Monday and an entire work week's ahead. Everybody's doing okay, right? It's fun.
Yeah. Fun Monday. Fun day.
I like what you said, by the way, the one, the only Chris Welsh, even though technically there's exactly another Chris Welsh in baseball who is a famous baseball pitcher, and I'm a nobody.
Famous,
but I am the one and
pitcher?
only. Well, Chris Welsh, Reds pitcher, and he's the announcer. Well, I guess he was
famous
Padres and famous. He's an announcer.
I think you're more famous than that guy. I bet you have more Twitter followers than that dude.
Definitely no. I'm gonna go look. There's no way. That's I'm pretty sure.
I guess is that the standard of famous? I guess Instagram is really the standard of famous now.
Yeah. He doesn't have his. I mean, I'm almost about 11, but he's at 22. So far, right. That pitcher wins.
Wow. If I have more than he does, then he ain't famous. So that doesn't count.
You're famous, Joe.
That's right. In my own mind. Let's get to the headlines here. Let's start with Carlos Santana. He was so smooth this week. And I actually did the waiver wire video. He was one of the guys. I'm like, look, Carlos Santana is like, pluck him off the waiver wire since he's been in Seattle. He's getting on base. I mean, the power was falling behind a little bit, but he's a little older player still. But this weekend had some big flies in the win over Toronto. So that power started to come around too. So maybe they made an adjustment. I don't know, but things are looking better for Carlos Santana. And I think he was rostered in like 15% of leagues or something ridiculous like that. Wilmer Flores goes deep twice in a win over San Diego. Trevor Story drove in 3 as the Red Sox beat the Yankees. I know Mike Mayer was very happy about that. We had Corey Lee lead the Astros past the A's on Sunday. The Braves acquired Robinson Cano from the Padres for cash. So there's your big left-handed bat if you're the Braves, right? Well, you got to be super excited about that.
They also, the Braves are doing weird stuff, by the way. Just not that everybody's going to care, but the Braves acquiring Robinson Cano is like, I was looking around, I'm like, am I missing something? Am I missing what's going on? But then they also moved one of their top-ish prospects, Drew Waters, this morning in a trade to the Royals in a 3-team trade. CJ Alexander, Waters, and I'm forgetting the third piece, for the 35th pick in this weekend's MLB draft, because you can trade compensatory picks. You can't trade the actual picks. So they're just making a bunch of odd moves, moving 3 prospects for a pick or potential money. They're getting Robinson Cano, who I mean, I don't know where the fit is. I don't know what any team is thinking. Like when the Padres acquired him, like, what are we doing? What are we doing with Robinson Cano? What facet? Like Carlos Santana, actually just like really good teammate. He's been known for years and years and years as like this great clubhouse leader and stuff like that. I don't know that Robinson Cano plays that role like at all.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Waters is a player that's been floating around that system for a long time, though. I mean, I think he's kind of they passed his expiration date as a prospect a little bit, or no?
Well, no. I mean, he's still young. He was actually involved. I just talked about this the other day. He was involved in the. I keep forgetting his name. Remember the controversy with the GM who was with the Kevin Maiton controversy, where Kevin Maiton was given like a condo in Florida and a bunch of money, and he was paying people under the table. Drew Waters was actually part of that, where he had like promised a certain amount of money, and but he was one of the few that didn't get kicked off the team. Christian Betancourt was another one of those who's now with the Rays. But yeah, Waters only 23 years old, like Wonky just put in there. And, a little bit of injuries, lack of major production, but, it's getting closer. Drew Waters could probably come up and play some outfield for the Royals right now.
Well, they might need him to, because Whit Merrifield's going to be on the IL for several weeks with the toe injury. Great, terrific, grand. But before we get to more on that, let's do a couple other notes here. Albert Pujols hit his 684th home run. So congratulations to Mr. Pujols. Austin Riley did another homer. That was 2 on the weekend. So Joey P got a couple dingers. Very nice. I like. This is good. Still not on the board, though. I'm just missing the board. I'm tied there with everybody else. But here are the injuries. Starling Marte, groin, likely to avoid the IL. So, I mean, we'll see what that's all about. Brian Reynolds exits with discomfort in his right side. That's never a good thing. With the All-Star break coming, you have some extra time there. We'll see what happens. But Whit Merrifield, this is the one I want to come back to. It's been a really disappointing season. I acquired him early in the year on that first slump, and I was hoping he would turn things around. There was a little bit of a run where he did, and now the injury in several weeks, no bueno. You got Wander Franco also over the weekend too. That we know is going to miss several weeks. So this is a problem, certainly for the Rays offense as well.
Well,
so
also for
no trade value anymore for the Royals, and then Wander Franco. I mean, this is an offense that can't afford to lose anybody. So losing Wander Franco for an extended period also not good for the Rays.
Yeah, I thought the Franco trade is like the biggest one that we should be on here, but the Whit Merrifield one is fascinating because, like you said, it's really on the precipice of like, is he going to be able to return with any trade deadline that's still out there? That's what I'm really worried about, because the Royals seemed like they were really looking to start unloading some of those pieces, and he was probably going to be at the center of it. So it looks like Andrew Benintendi will probably be first. I know that there's a couple teams, I'm forgetting the main one, it was the Mets, that are kicking tires around Andrew Benintendi. And then if Witt can come back with any time, or I mean, they can still trade him even if he's injured or he's going to come back shortly. But his trade value just took a little smack, which is brutal.
Yeah, no good, no bueno. All right, let's talk about the rest of the All-Star game, guys. We already did the starters last week, who we knew were going to be the starters. The starting pitchers, though, we'll go with, let's start with the American League. You're going to have Shane McClanahan, no doy, Justin Verlander, Alek Manoah, Nestor Cortez, Garrett Cole, Ohtani as the pitcher. So we'll see how that happens. Paul Blackburn, much to the dismay. Let me say that again. Paul Blackburn is an all-star. You like that, Mike Mayer? You like that? I know everybody gets one, but still.
Okay,
he's
well,
an all-star.
Joe Mantiply is also a all-star. Joe.
Martin Perez is an all-star. So is Framber Valdez. The relievers are Clay Holmes, Emmanuel Clase, Jorge Lopez, Gregory Soto. Those are the guys. The reserves for the American League: Arise, Trevino, Andres Jimenez, Jose Ramirez, Xander Bogaerts, Byron Buxton, your boy, did make the All-Star team. Congratulations to Buxton and you, Welsh, Kyle Tucker, George Springer, Andrew Benintendi, Julio, thank goodness, made the All-Star team, and Jordan Alvarez. Fun fact, Andres Jimenez made the All-Star team, but Francisco Lindor did not. Does that enrage Mets fans, do you think?
I mean, it's a Mets fan, sure. I got to tell you, I'm not, as you know, maybe I'm a lack of fun here, not the party fun guy of all-star games. I don't get excited about this stuff. I don't get worked up. But man, Dylan Cease not making it is
I thought that was the big oversight.
It's relatively wild that you can't get Dylan Cease in here. Like Paul Blackburn is an all-star and Cease isn't. Like, I completely understand the every team one. Which is dumb, by the way. It's one of the dumber, again, it's a dumb thing. No, it doesn't. Everybody doesn't need to be on there. Do you think Diamondback fans are going to come in droves to wear their Joe Mantiply jerseys and be excited that a relief pitcher got in as their one guy? No, they're not. And it completely takes away from Dylan Cease, who is, well, Mantiply doesn't, but the whole process of it, like with Blackburn, takes away. It's the dumbest thing on the planet. I hate it, but I don't get too invested. But that would be the one thing I look at this and I go, brutal.
Yeah, that's an oversight. Dylan Cease, I'm sure he'll end up on the team. Somebody will opt out or some crap will happen.
Yeah, I agree.
It always does. I think he will get on. Elected starters, we already know for the National League, but the reserves: Travis d'Arnaud, Pete Alonso, CJ Cron. I hope both those guys are in the Derby. That'd be fun. Jeff McNeil made the All-Star team. Also, Nolan Arenado, of course, just missed the starting gig. Dansby Swanson, Kyle Schwarber, well-deserving. Sterling Marte, we'll see if he plays in it. Juan Soto, Ian Happ, and William Contreras. So there you go. He's going to start apparently with
the brothers.
Harper going to be out. Yeah, so
the brothers are going to.
Brothers in the All-Star game.
brothers don't shake hands. Brothers
got to start. Brothers aren't reserves.
Don't they usually? That is.
Yeah.
Don't they usually have the home run derby participants like listed? Or am I just crazy?
It's early. Usually this week, like we're gonna start getting them, I think, in a couple of days.
Okay, I just figured we would have like the names floating around. Like a guy or two had already agreed. Like we've heard nothing.
I think typically they let it's usually during the week now, because I think first you have to name all the guys so people know already if they're going there already that they're going to participate, because it takes a lot for somebody to participate who isn't an all-star. And sometimes you do get that. Like the guy's like, yeah, I'll do the Derby. Like I'll come fly.
I just felt like we had one of those things where it was like Ohtani had agreed to do it like 3 weeks before, and we had this big build up to it. Like we're like a week out. So I don't know.
Well, Shohei Ohtani is special though. he's like, yeah, sure. I will
I
do.
guess.
She always done it, just wants to play baseball. I think, what, can I pitch? Can I hit? Can I manage? What can
Well,
I
when
do?
you're
I just
that
want to
when
play
you're
baseball.
that good, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Sandy Alcantara's that good. He's probably going to start the All-Star game. Corbin Burns, Joe Musgrove, Max Fried, Tony Gonsolin, Luis Castillo made the All-Star team. Nobody would have thought that in April. Clayton Kershaw made it. Josh Hader, Edwin Diaz, Ryan Helsley, Bednar, and Joe Mantiply. Mantiply? Is it Mantiply?
You know what? So I have this bit. I think I
know.
confused. I think it is.
You know how I
I
feel
think
about
it's
relievers.
I think it's actually Mantiply.
Mantiply.
But he sounded Joe. I was doing like a character. It's like a SpongeBob character, the villains. You know, like the Aqua, like Joe Mantiply. Like it's
Yeah, I
like a villain.
Mantiply. I
to me.
don't
So
die.
like,
I Mantiply. That's
he'll
what
be
I
an
do.
Aquaman too. But yeah, it is. It's actually Mantiply.
All right, so you
No
were
one
upset about
corrected me, by the way,
East.
because no one knows him. But
That's all right. Alex Carr was pissed about Zach Wheeler, 5th among MLB starters in WAR, and also Aaron Nola, 6th among MLB pitchers in WAR. Both of them did not make the All-Star team, so I can understand a little frustration there. But the National League pitching has been so good; it's hard to argue any of that.
Well,
let's get to
Mantiply going in over Wheeler is you can argue.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you can have these more relievers, and everybody gets somebody. So there you go. Mantiply. I can make a really inappropriate joke, but I won't. Let's get to the next bit here. Fun facts. Highest slugging percentage in the 7th inning or later. Aaron Judge is number 1. Hunter Renfroe is at 730. Aaron Judge at 761. Josh Naylor on this list. Then Jazz Chisholm, Bryce Harper, Kevin Biggio, and Manny Margot. I just thought that was an interesting thing. Slugging percentage in the 7th inning or later. Is that a stat that means absolutely nothing to you? Or do you think, yeah, in late innings, guys who show up with big hits and powerful hits, that does kind of matter to you?
Oh man, that's like a loaded question. Like I don't want to dismiss it like it's absolutely nothing. It's a super weird, like in the 7th inning or later, picking that is kind of odd. It's a good list of names. I guess it shows that clutch, if you will, Joe, that clutch gene in there. But I don't know. You see Margot and Kevin Biggio, like, do they change their approach in the latter half of games? I mean, Biggio has struggled. I know he's been decent as of recent, but I don't know. I don't think I guess at the end of the day, I don't really take anything away from it. I think it's cool that it's good. Maybe there's a little clutch in there, maybe latter half of games, if they're a little bit more consistent and they're going to be hitting hard, maybe you can count on that. But what does that really get you? You're not going to be like, well, because Kevin Biggio is the 5th best slugging in the 7th inning or later, I'm very comfortable with him now in my lineup because I know I'll get that late hit. Like, no, I don't really think it's a lead up to much.
I think it's more indicative about relief pitching. Like, I mean, these are the guys who feast on bad relief pitching. that would be my takeaway.
Yeah, maybe.
7th inning or later, you get some of these guys sometimes in mop-up duty or what have you. This day in baseball, 1989, Bo Jackson and Wade Boggs led off the bottom of the 1st inning with back-to-back homers off Rick Russell to spark the American League to a 5-3 win in the All-Star game. That was in 1989. Bo Jackson won the MVP that year. True story. This is 1989. This is the year that I went to the Hall of Fame. It was the year it was Johnny Bench and Carl Yastrzemski going in, if memory serves. My parents took me to the Hall of Fame. It was an amazing weekend of baseball. And then we came back, and I turned on the All-Star game. I got home right when it started. I turned it on, and Bo Jackson hit the home run. True story. Watch this. This is a very happy childhood memory for me.
Did you see this wild tweet? This was from, who is this? Josh Vernier, who is a radio insider for the Kansas City Royals. And he did, I don't understand this sometimes, but 511 games with Kansas City, Bo Jackson, 189 extra base hits, 250, 308, 480 slugging in 2010 plate appearances. 511 games with Kansas City. Hunter Dozier, 189 extra base hits, 245, 314, 437 slash line in 2017 plate appearances. Essentially saying Hunter Dozier and Bo Jackson are the exact same player with 511 games with the Royals. That's where we're at nowadays. That to me, that's very similar to your 7th inning slugging or later.
Well, that's just dumb. Like, I mean, it's a very different era of baseball. Number one, number two, Bo Jackson was still playing football at the same time in October and stuff like that.
You don't know what Hunter Dozier. Maybe Hunter Dozier plays lawn darts.
I mean, I always wonder if
Frisbee.
Bo Jackson had only just played baseball, if he hadn't gone back and forth, what he would have developed into. Um, and look, Hunter Dozier is a nice player. I like Hunter Dozier. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff where he says, like, you could cherry pick stats and compare guys and make a case that this guy is Bo Jackson. I mean, Bo Jackson also made incredible plays defensively that people could not believe. He had an incredible
Yeah, and
arm.
Dozier's not. I think it's. I
Yeah.
think though the point they like to do is talk about the overratedness of players, which maybe to the football side. How many football, baseball players did we have? We had Dion, Bo, Brian Jordan. Do we have others that were playing at the same time, or like even Cross?
Well, it was Dion. It was.
No, I said Dion,
Yeah.
Brian Jordan, and Bo Jackson. Were there any others?
DJ Dozier play football and baseball? I want to say he was one of those guys too. If I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, those are Brian Jordan was another fantastic athlete.
Yeah.
But specialization, something you're never probably going to see again. Trivia question of the day. Manny Machado is the second third baseman selected to the All-Star game in each league. Who was the first? Who was the first third baseman selected to the American League and the National League? If you think you know the answer, subscribe to Fantasy Bros MLB. Drop the answer in the chat. Let's see how smart you are. But yeah, this was a fun little trivia question. And yes, it's a player from somewhat recent. I will give you a hint. This is a player from the 70s and 80s, but a well-known player at that. So I will say that. Not a Hall of Famer, but definitely an all-star.
I'm out.
And definitely somebody that was pretty well-known, I would say. Let's get to the stat heroes over the weekend. Taijuan Walker, 7 Ks, but unfortunately lost to Sandy Alcantara, who was better. Alex Woods, 7 Ks, no earned 8 Ks. Jake Odorizzi back, 7 Ks, 7 innings for him. Carlos Rodon, 12 Ks at 9. He was spectacular. Another good start from Kershaw with 10 Ks. Yu Darvish, 6 Ks and 7. Reed Detmers, your boy, 7 Ks. That's a big output for him in 6 innings. That's enough for the rest of the month for Reed Detmers. Luis Castillo, 8 Ks and 7. 1 earned run. Blake Snell with a good start. 1 earned, 11 Ks for him. And Zach Wheeler, no earned, 7 innings, 5 Ks. How about Blake Snell? What's your confidence level in him now start to start? Does that change? You feel pretty confident about Snell going forward second half?
I don't. I don't. I'm turning the page on him as I've been working through ranks. He just progressively is I mean, this is a really great outing. It's moving a little bit lower. There's also been a lot of trade rumors. I don't know if you saw this, that the Padres are looking around. I think that's probably changed a decent amount with Mackenzie Gore breaking out or breaking apart a little bit, but that they were looking for some outfield help, maybe an impact bat, and Blake Snell might be one of those. I just don't. I think he's moved out of a tier, but I think for the most part you can be relatively okay with putting him out there, but I'm less confident than I was at the beginning of the season for sure.
I don't see any guesses so far in the chat for the third base question for All-Stars. Come on, guys. All-Star third baseman for the National League and the American League. This is not so hard. This is
any other hints?
All right. I'll give you one more hint. This player, he played for the Yankees. He played for the Yankees. That was one of the All-Star appearances. In fact, 2 of the All-Star.
Let me guess. Did he play for one of the Yankees?
That's 3. That's 3 parlays today.
Yeah.
We'll see what the over-under is up at
Richard.
MGM. So, Richard. Here are some of the hitters that were good. Chris Bryant, finally, 3 home runs. Look at that. All solo shots. But again, beggars can't be choosers. 3 dingers for Carlos Santana over the weekend. Same for Wilmer Flores. Corey Seager has been red hot since I acquired him. You're welcome, general public. 6 for 9, 6 RBI. Matt Carpenter, 7 for 9 with 2 home runs. Austin Riley, 6 for 14, and only Austin Riley. The 2 home runs, 5 ribbies. Juan Soto, 5 for 10 with 2 homers as well. Then the stat zeros, Eric Fetty, 8 earned runs. No Bueno in 3 innings, Mackenzie Gore, Welsh love this line. 3 innings, 8 earned runs. Love this.
It's like a little part of me that's just like, is he breaking apart? Everyone anointed him? Okay.
Was that a Mackenzie Gore? 8 earned runs. I saw it. Shane Boz, 7 earned runs. Connor Seabold was not bold. He had 7 earned runs as well in 2 2/3. Paul Blackburn, 6 earned runs given up in 4 innings for the All-Star. David Smeltzer, 7 earned runs. He was not good. Martin Perez, 6 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 Ks. Hope you sold high on Martin Perez because we tried to tell you. Lastly, Franmil Reyes, 3 for 14 with 8 Ks. Patrick Wisdom, 2 for 10 with 7. Judge, rough weekend, 3 for 15, 6 Ks. We're getting a little shaky on the Judge MVP as Ohtani continues to be red hot. Is the worm turning here? What do you think, Walsh?
Could it be Satan? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're asking me. Like, yeah, you and I have thought that. I think we're in that space where it's like, this is just going to be Ohtani. Judge has got to keep an insane pace, I think. Especially, he's got to keep a pace of like 60 plus homers to be in this like minus. He's the favorite. He's the unanimous favorite. Oh my God, it's Aaron Judge. That's a really, really tough, almost maybe impossible sustainable pace with this day in baseball that he's going to be over 60. So yeah, sure. Any little slump is going to start moving those lines a whole bunch. He's still in conversation, of course, probably going to be, I'd probably still the favorite. We haven't done our daily MVP look, but it's still Ohtani. So yeah.
I agree. I think this is your last chance if you want to get on the Ohtani wagon. Cedric Mullins 2 for 14, 5Ks, and Brennan Nimmo with a bad week, even though he was instrumental in that victory for the Mets. He has 1 for 14 over the week, that one with a home run. But a beautiful day too. My favorite player of all time. There he is, Keith Hernandez, hence the 17 in my Twitter handle. There he is, starting lineup, Keith Hernandez. I'm Keith Hernandez. Look at that. They finally retired his number.
You know what?
Gracious.
I don't know if you saw it. You don't collect cards or anything, but they have this tops. They have these tops now moments. They have a Keith Hernandez like acceptance card. I just saw it yesterday and I thought of you. Maybe I'll try to get one for you.
That would be lovely. I would be nice. All right, here you go. Since everybody seems completely perplexed by this. Yeah, no, it's not idea. Charlie Hayes. No, it's not again, but somebody did get it. Bizarriza Jizza got it. Craig Nettles. There you go. 1975 and 1980 with the Yankees, and 1985 with the Padres. So there you have it. Craig Nettles, former captain. You got to love it. The Yankees traded Craig Nettles when he was captain. Let that sink in. Captain of the team gets traded. George Steinbrenner of the 70s and 80s, magnificent. We can only wish George Steinbrenner had Twitter. I can't even imagine what that would have been like. It would have been so great. All right, let's get to the home run board, see what the updates are from the weekend. Again, I got closer to the board. Austin Riley did his job. I'm very pleased, but unfortunately, High Cubbies still at the highest at 34. Mike Mayer's at 28. He's still there. He is 5th here on this board. I'm at 25, so I haven't made the board yet. So I get one more 26. Maybe I get back on that board. But Welsh, I don't see your name here. You're not holding up.
You're not good.
Bargain. What's going on?
Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Like Mayer's absolutely snarky ass comment from earlier where he goes, because this is a baseball. When I asked, hey, why would you ask me? Because I'm so Team Ohtani. Because it's a baseball podcast, Welsh. That's why he's asking. Why don't you pull that snarky ass comment up and put it up real quick. I did see
that.
So I obviously don't know where I'm at, so I'm not going to be on the board because I don't make calls. So be any more snarky, Mayor.
Yeah,
just a little bit up there. Apparently, I don't know where I'm at. He says that's why he's asking me a baseball question. Joe, don't ask me baseball questions. I don't know where we are right now. I'll never be on this board.
We are salty.
Oh, now I'm salty. I am salty.
Well, that's good. That's good. I like salty Walsh. All right, let's go to BetMGM, the king of sports books. Right now, bet $10, win $200. There's still time on any game, regardless of the outcome. And then you can take that $200 and put it all on Ohtani for MVP and win a lot more. Go to BetMGM app or BetMGM.com. Use the promo code leading off. It's this crucial part. Leading off. One word. That's the promo code. Again, that's BetMGM. Bet responsibly. Bet with leading off. Today, I know it's a tough assignment for the Cardinals, but I like these plus money things you're getting. And, if Aaron Nola isn't quite perfect today, Paul Goldschmidt at 1.5 total bases at plus 120. Arenado plus 125. Those are really good hitters. I know it's a tough matchup, but that's big plus money. Rafael Devers total bases against Tampa today at plus 110. Max Fried, 4.5 is the strikeout total. I know the juice is minus 160, but against the Mets, he's going to hit. You don't or do?
No, I do. I like that.
Oh my God. Listen, minus 160 is a lot. Pair it with something else. Put it in a parlay. This is your lock. Because the Mets are going to strike out 5 times in the first 3 innings. So I'm just
I like this one a lot.
And then Max Scherzer on the other side of this game, 7.5. That's a higher number. It's plus 105 for the over. I would take the plus. He's had a little extra day rest too. Scherzer's come off, I want to say 11 strikeouts right against the Reds last time. Just saying, Scherzer looks pretty good here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's against Atlanta.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like we've talked about in the past, we only have so many certainties on these props because these props are bonkers and nuts right now. Totally. That you've got Shane McClanahan on strikeouts. You always play it. I think you've got Cease for the most part. You always play it. Strider is moving into that where you
Yeah,
always
he is.
play it. And like elite hitters at plus money, you take those. What's the other one? Right there, Atlanta. You go again, you take pitchers on Atlanta. Strikeouts are usually going to be high numbers. And for an elite pitcher like Scherzer, 8's a pretty good number. Atlanta has honed in just a tiny bit. And over the last 3, they've only struck out 7. They're averaging 7 times a game, but they're still 3rd worst in baseball. One of only 3 teams striking out 9 times per game with the Angels in Pittsburgh. So yes, I very much do always like Scherzer. I've also got just a couple, to your point where it's funny, I think the books are actually looking at this because you're like, hey, look, Arenado and Goldschmidt both plus money on total bases, which I actually think is saying that they think Nola is going to be doing some business. But Nola's got a low strikeout marker at 5.5 because it's against the Cardinals who don't strike out. So I like Aaron Nola's strikeout. Something's got to bend here. And the books might be teetering just a tiny bit more towards Nola. He's hit it in 5 straight. I've had 6 or more strikeouts if you don't count the last game, which I think was against the Nationals where he had 3. He had 6 strikeouts or more pretty much through the entire month last time. And then, Chris Bryant's been hot as hell. BVP, I'm taking his total base marker 1.5 over. Those Aaron Nola and Chris Bryant, my 2 favorite of the day. And I really like that Fried one you had.
Now today on the DFS slate is no bueno. I hate this slate. And this happens, I would say, once every couple months where I do this, and Mayor knows this. So I just don't play. I'm going nowhere near this. It's poop. It's terrible. And I'll tell you why it's terrible, because I don't like any of the matchups. You've also got Colorado in play. So whenever you have Colorado in play, wacky things can go on too. You have some terrible pitchers. We're talking the Spencer Howards, Alex Fado, Daniel Lynch, right? So you can just go all in on offense if you want to do it. And the other problem is then you have Nola and Miles Michaelis going against each other, Scherzer and Max Fried going against each other. So you have the 4 outcome games. So the pitchers I like are all going against each other today anyway. So if you want to go in on this and do it, that's fine. And Manaea, who's another pitcher you might like, he's pitching in Colorado. So that's a lot to ask too. I don't feel great about Alex Cobb. This is a slate that you're probably just going to light your money on fire. So I would recommend not playing it. But if you do want to play it tonight, I would say you have to pick a side in the Mets-Braves game in terms of one of those pitchers to get it right. And then probably just load up on hitting as much as you can and go with one of these secondary arms like Alex Cobb, who's 7-4 on DK, and just hope that he gets a win at home against the Diamondbacks. That's probably the best thing to do. Or you put Scherzer or Fried with Miles Michaelis in the Oppo win at home against the Phillies. That's the only other way to do it. But I'm telling you right now, it's a tough one, Welsh. What are your thoughts? Any thoughts on this slate for tonight? Because I hate it.
I mean, I'm with you, especially because I'm less of a DFS guy than anything else. If you're in a place where you're like, I'm not doing this, I don't want to be involved either. Something interesting. I don't think
has a good point here too. The Cron and Bryant not in the lineup, then Manaea might be actually more startable. But again, it's Colorado, so there is a huge risk there.
Yeah, and I didn't even see. I mean, even still looking, I'm still not seeing the paternity leave. I'm still not even seeing it. But
that's Bizarre Jizza got the trivia question right, so anything he says now is
no. I'm not doubting. I'm not doubting. So obviously the bets you're going to want to take that bet off, but that might also make me need to change my home run call here for a minute.
Well, I'll give you some time to filibuster.
No, you're fine.
Think about that.
You're good.
Well, you should change it because it looks like
I
is out today. I'm going with Manny Machado. I'm in Colorado. I'm going to stick with that against Jose Urena. Why don't you come take Manny Machado with me? We'll see how that goes. Or you got somebody else that sounds pretty good to you.
I'm actually. You know what? I need to change it. I was going to take Jose Ramirez, but I don't like Mayer anymore, so I don't want to be associated with him. So I need to take. I'm going to take JD Martinez. We're going to do that. I will not associate myself.
So you're not taking
that
Jose
type
Ramirez.
Of snark. I was going to take it because he's the BVP play of the day. He's got the highest home run total versus
more
pitcher.
If you took the same player, if you took Jose Ramirez, isn't that more upsetting? You could just kind of rub it in his face, I'm just going to take whoever you take. And then eventually you catch up to Mayer and then pass him. See, that's what you do.
Yeah, well, no, see, I would have to take well, actually, what it would do? It would be like me taking Buxton. It would be like me taking, but I'd have to take a player that he doesn't believe in, that I like. Essentially anybody that I like that Mayer doesn't, that would be the play. I can't play the same plays as him, but I'm gonna go with JD Martinez. Pretty good BVP versus Whistler today.
That's fair enough there. That's fair enough. All right. So there you have it. Those are the home run calls, everything going on. Make sure you subscribe to FantasyPros MLB. We still got the videos coming out for the buy low, sell high. We got the waiver wire. We got everything. We got the promo code leading off for BetMGM. So go download the app as well. And good times. Again, fun Monday. And next week, we're going to have a lot of fun content too with the All-Star stuff coming. We'll do some props and some home run derby wagering. That'll be a good time. Welsh is very excited about the MLB draft. I'm hearing it's a very good class this year.
It's an incredible class. I'm gonna be live streaming. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of stuff on our Patreon for the draft, putting the players from a dynasty perspective into where they go on the ranks, and I'm gonna live stream that as well. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at @IsOfTheWelsh. But Joe, one thing I would suggest, and maybe keep this in mind, this might be interesting if we involve maybe 1 or 2 listeners or something. We should do a home run derby draft where we each take 2 players and we could snake. We could have a 4-person draft for the home run derby. We make our picks, and then I don't know how we would do it unless we had someone really active in the chat, but maybe 2 of the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks could draft with us. I don't know.
I think there should be something though, like maybe the person who I think we should work on this. We'll get together. Wonky Penguin is in control of the list, I believe.
Massage it.
So with her, yeah, well, you gotta be careful with those massages nowadays, I hear. But yes, we have I think there's something where if everybody takes 2 people and whoever has the most, maybe we give a bonus. We give them like I don't know, like a 3 home run bonus, somewhere between 3 and 5. I think 5 is a lot, but 3 sounds right. Like whoever gets the most of the better combination, that's a +3 on your home run board. Otherwise, we're just standing around doing nothing. All those home runs are being hit. For what? For what? I think it's a great idea.
For what?
What's the deal?
I don't
understand. All those home runs, nobody gets a home run. I don't understand.
We'll do something fun for it. Maybe we could do a little draft. We can involve a couple different things. So make sure you guys are listening in so we could.
I want the home run contest, the home run derby to matter in the home run contest. That's what I want.
Okay. I see.
That's what I want. I thought that's what you were alluding to.
No. I was just saying we have a fun little, because I'll do that sometimes with the listeners and stuff. We'll do like a little draft. 4 of us. You take 2 players. Whoever wins. I get your point. I love this idea.
Everybody.
Maybe, I think here's what we should do. I draft the player that wins, and I get all those home runs to my home run total on the board, and now I'm over all of you guys. I love this idea.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if you picked some guy who hit 2 and it was just like, and then he was out?
Oh, you know what would be great? Oh, think of this idea. Okay, I know we got to go, but think of this idea. What if we did it kind of like like Jeopardy, where you pick your guy to win and you can bet as many of your current homers. And if you win, you can win all those. If you lose all your homers. So let's say, Joe, you have 25 homers. You could bet all 25 on Pete Alonso to win it. If he loses, you lose everything.
Welsh
if he wins,
wants some action.
You double it. This is action.
Hatless Welsh is on fire today. We're going to have to talk about this. Go to Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. Go in the home run channel. Let's start talking about it. What does everybody want to do? Welsh is going crazy with this one. I want to keep it simpler. But what do you want to do? It's your contest. Figure it out. Go to Discord. Go check us out there. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Hatless Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time.